Hi, it's 2022, unfortunately, and The Sun Also Rises is out of copyright! It's my favorite book. Did I spend the last year writing a screenplay for an excellent film adaptation that will star Alex Wolff and Elizabeth Debicki? No, I spent the last year lying in bed and dissociating. But did every publishing house under the sun also rises spend 2021 preparing to put out a new edition of the book? They did that. It's their job to do it. And what does that mean? New covers. I am going to rank them. I am something of a connoisseur of covers of The Sun Also Rises, an aficionado, if you will. Don't. For a really long time, I had this outstanding rule because I was not allowed to purchase more books, too many books back there and over there and in there as well. I was not allowed to buy new books if I walked into a used bookstore, no matter the temptation, unless I found a beautiful copy of The Sun Also Rises. A copy that I did not have, a copy that was historically significant, typography, art, color, what have you, thematicness, drama, I don't know. Well, that was my rule for a really, really long time, and this is what happened to me. My phone is on the top of this stack because I have an ebook as well. That's super useful when you are on the go and you just need to quickly reference a line or you're reading on the subway. It's nice to have. Honestly, some of these I don't even remember buying. So now I'm not allowed to buy anything at all, except after seeing what is coming out now in 2022, I kind of want to buy more. So all of the listings that I'm going to be looking at today are either from the Book Culture website. Book Culture is my local bookstore. And then I'll try to get information from the publishers' websites where I can. I would ask that if you somehow, for some reason, feel compelled to buy a book, that you buy it from anywhere but Amazon, but preferably your local bookstore. It does actual material good in the world, but more importantly, you then get to say where you bought the book every time you talk about it. I don't shop on Amazon, actually. Could you send me a different link? Because I just don't use Amazon, you know? Actually, sometimes for this, I did have to use Amazon because they have the preview function where you can see inside the book, which is kind of nice sometimes. Okay, let's look at books. We are going to start today with the Signature Classics edition. They're launching 6 new Signature Classics hardcovers with special fancy cover designs, and then they're launching trade paperbacks. This is the paperback. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Okay. My first reaction was really, really good, and my now reaction is that it kind of looks like Ronald McDonald. So, okay, on this cover, we have a matador in yellow and red. He's fighting a black bull. He's carrying his cape. This is a theme that we're gonna see a lot. Things that I really like about this. I like the matador. Obviously, those like 2 iconic bullfights with Pedro Romero are such pivotal moments, and it's nice to see them represented. It feels very dramatic. There's a lot of movement in it. So I did a little bit of research on this cover. I reverse image searched it. This image is on Shutterstock. It says it's from artist Maria Bow. It also says that Shutterstock customers love this asset. Overall though, I like this. I think that this is like a solid A-. Yes. No, B+. It's a B+. I think this is a solid B+. Maybe I'll change my mind later. I don't know what I'm gonna be working with. But what of Signature Classics hardcover version? I don't know. When I started recording this video, they had not released the cover yet, and it's been 3 months. So now they have, and I adore it. It is so beautiful and vivid and clean and simple, and on top of that, it's one of the best butts we're gonna see all night. It's got everything that you would want from a cover of this book. So on the publisher website, it says that the hardcover is being designed by illustrator Malika Favre. She is a French artist based in Barcelona. So how wonderful, both of the countries that are involved in the narrative of The Sun Also Rises. Number 3, officially, the Macmillan Collector's Library hardcover from who else but Macmillan? Okay, let's take a look at these. So unfortunately, Ooh, okay. When I put together this document, they had not released the cover yet, and now they have. And I don't like it. Oh no, let's unpack that. So this is their house style. That part I actually like. And then they've got this photo of the running of the bulls, what appears to be the running of the bulls. I might have to get like closer to my screen. This is embarrassing. I'm elderly. I was not excited about this in the first place because I looked through their catalog and I saw the covers they had done for A, Scott Fitzgerald's books, and then B, they have done A Farewell to Arms and For Whom the Bell Tolls. And both of those just feel... Like for A Farewell to Arms, they just have this painting of a nurse, and it's like, yeah, that's in the book, but this doesn't feel like anything incredibly specific to the book. Like this image here, it doesn't get this feeling of forward motion that we get in the scene with the running of the bulls, where it's just so chaotic and you have this like huge pack of bulls and you have this desperate, stumbling, drunken pack of men trying to outrun them. And so this feels a little more generic to me. I'm gonna give this one a C. It feels like strong C territory to me. But I like the layout of the cover. I don't like the image that they chose at all. I think it sucks. But number 4 is the Deluxe illustrated hardcover from Clydesdale, which is a Simon & Schuster imprint. Let's take a look. Yes. Yes. Okay. Cool. New illustrations by Tim Foley and a new foreword by author Robert Wheeler catapult this timeless classic by Ernest Hemingway into the 21st century with vigor. Vigor is what I see when I perceive this ass crack. This is important. This, no lie, Pedro Romero's butt and his tight pants are so important for this book, and I love that they're being represented here. So we see this matador in this tight, fancy yellow outfit facing down a black bull, full of peaks in this case. Things that I actually don't like about this, not a huge fan of the font treatment. I feel like the texture on the font reads as a little bit paint studio to me. I'm sorry, I feel so bad. But you know what? The art rocks. The artist is named Tim Foley. I went to his website, and on that website I found more illustrations for The Sun Also Rises. We've got this one that I love, which is I think depicting Jake dancing with Brett. We've got, of course, the very important image of Pedro Romero's butt. We've got the Count and Brett Ashley showing up at Jake's apartment in the middle of the night with buckets and buckets and buckets of champagne. Ooh! Oh, and we've also got everyone watching the bullfight. Pedro Romero fighting close to the bull, as it were, as he does. I think the one that he did for the cover is the strongest of those to me. Just the composition of it and the simplicity of it is very striking. Oh, rating. That's gonna get the A-. That gets an A- from me. I'm excited about the cover illustration. And that's what I'm ranking in this video. I'm excited about it, but it doesn't like sing to me. It doesn't say, Simone, buy this immediately or you'll die. Number 5, Everyman's Library Contemporary Classic Series. Everyman, I have learned from this, was founded in 1906 by Joseph Dent, a visionary publisher. He promised infinite riches in a little room. Fantastic. Love the vision, Joseph. This is coming out on March 8th, 2022. Let's take a look at the cover. Ah, no. Okay. I don't like it. I'm not generally a fan of using author photos on these covers because the book is not about Hemingway, even though it is about a very thinly fictionalized version of Hemingway, or at least based on a real bad vacation that he actually had with his friends. Doesn't matter. It is not about him, and in the years since its publication and since his death, his whole legend has so much overtaken the fiction that he wrote. It's hard to divorce his fiction from any kind of autobiography of him. So the fact that they're not even trying to get around that and just slapping Hemingway on the cover is, to me, like, you're making it about him as a literary figure and as a legend and not about the book itself. And the book is a really freaking good book. It stands on its own. What's more, I would give it a pass if it were a photo of like a young, starving Hemingway in Paris in the 1920s. He looks radically different. If you look at his wedding photos to Hadley versus the photos of him from Paris just a couple of years later, he does that thing that happens to men sometimes where as they age, their face kind of just expands, gets wider every year. I don't know why men's faces do that, but his certainly did, and his mustache became very full. His hair remained quite nice. Ooh, one thing I love, I understand why they couldn't do this, but let me get another book for you. Oh no! This book, Everybody Behaves Badly, the true story behind Hemingway's masterpiece, The Sun Also Rises, by Leslie M. Bloom. This is like a combo biography of Hemingway plus a backstory on the real trip that he took that inspired The Sun Also Rises. And it uses a photo, if I can show this, of Hemingway during the trip with the characters who inspired the characters in the book. Like there's Pat Guthrie there, who became Mike Campbell. There is Brett Ashley, there's Lady Duff Twisden, who became Brett Ashley. There's his wife, Hadley Richardson, who he wrote out of the story, and that's why he's going to jail. So the photo doesn't make sense to me. What did I give that, a C? I think I gave it a C. Number 6, the large print edition from Clydesdale. Why are they doing construction outside my home at this time of night? It's the garbage man. Garbage man's here. Large print edition. So I actually love this. Like, it's very plain. People are gonna think that I'm nuts. I'm like dissing on all these like beautiful photos, and then this is just orange, and I'm like, yes, I love it. First of all, this is my favorite shade of orange. Secondly, it's very much bold, big strokes of orange. And I love that because it has a simplicity, but then also a texture to it. It also kind of reminds me, one of the painters that Hemingway was super inspired by at this like time when he was living in Paris was Cézanne. And Cézanne's style was he impressionistically painted the land in a way that really inspired Hemingway. When he was doing his descriptions of the land, he tried to do it in these like bold strokes. I actually love the font too. There's something that's fun about that. Like on so many books, they'll try to do something super Art Deco, and they'll have this super angular font and all the ornate shapes. You'll see this on a million covers of Gatsby. People love to do that, but on this they don't. And I like that because it looks different, but it doesn't feel out of place because it feels a little bit fun. It feels adventurous, which the book is. It is the great post-World War I novel about Americans in Europe. So I like the plainness of it. I find that it's plainness without laziness. In fact, it is simplicity embodied, which is exactly Hemingway's style. Oh my God, it's all come full circle. I give the large print edition an A. Moving on to number 7, the Clydesdale Classics paperback. Let's take a look. Oh no. Oh, it's ugly. What to say about this? This is a brown cover that has a lot of words on it. The color obviously evokes the sun-baked land of Spain. This is the version of The Sun Also Rises that you will find in every used bookstore in every college town across America, because it's the one that a college student is gonna buy for Intro to 20th Century Literature, and then they're gonna donate it and wash their hands of it, and that's fine because it costs $6. However, this does get a D. Number 8, compact disc from Dreamscape Media. Oh, here's a cool fact. On their website, Dreamscape says they provide audiobooks, ebooks, films, doc, and TV shows to over 5.5 million libraries through Hoopla. That rules. Here's the cover. Man. Okay, so on this cover, we've got a cream background, we've got the bullfighter, we've got the classic Black Bull. The things that I really like about this, the font. I actually really love this font. It feels kind of retro to me, and I love the pink. It makes me happy when I see a color that I don't necessarily expect. I also really like the geometric kind of flat pop art style that they have going on here. I feel like because it's so clear and so evocative, they're not really taking any risks. It's pretty to look at, but maybe it's not taking enough risks. You know what I'm saying? Whoa! More importantly, this is an audiobook. So let us take a listen to some audio from it.
In the morning, it was all over. The fiesta was finished, and commenced to tear down the notices, pulling the paper off in strips and washing and rubbing away the paper that stuck to the stone.
It's fine. But how do I feel about the cover? I think that this is a B. Like I said, it's not like super adventurous. I think it's playing it safe, but it looks good. It looks appropriate for the book, and I don't hate it. Number 9, another audiobook. This one is from Blackstone Publishing. It comes out on February 1st, 2022, and it is read by Michael Gandolfini. When I checked, there was no cover on Book Culture. Let's see if that's changed. Oh, yeah. Okay. First of all, I think this rules. Sorry to be so literal, but I love it when they put the sun on the cover of The Sun Also Rises. The way that it almost looks like it's stained glass, and then it's all fractured into these pieces, just like the friendships in the book are fractured by this terrible vacation they all go on. Oh my God, I love it. I also really love the colors that are on this one. They are not just like your basic primary red, primary yellow. Is yellow a primary color? Yes. It's not just the basic colors. It's this like little bit of muted red, a soft buttery yellow, a brush of orange. Oh, yes. And you know, it does do that thing that I was kind of talking about where people who are doing a book that's set in the 20s try to make it look very Art Deco. I can see that they're trying to do that, but they do a good job. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous cover, and I adore it. Ooh, is there an audio sample? Okay, wait.
Take me to your website. Take me to the Blackstone Publishing website.
I can't believe they don't have a sample. Maybe by the time this is edited, there'll be a sample and I can like...
Robert Cohn was once middleweight boxing champion at Princeton.
Yes! However, I listened to his voice in interviews and I actually love that it has this softness to it. Because Jake in the book is so much trying to be hard-boiled, but he's the kind of guy who lies down in bed in the middle of the night face down and cries about his girlfriend and how he can't have sex with her because his dick doesn't work, which I've always said is a failure of imagination on his part, but... Okay, this cover gets an A+ from me. Moving on. Number 10, the Library of America Corrected Text Decal Edge Paperback. The Library of America presents an authoritative new text of Hemingway's classic novel, correcting errors, restoring key changes made to Hemingway's original punctuation, including to the novel's famous last line, and reinstating references to real people removed for fear of libel. Oh my God. Let's take a look. This isn't all bad. Okay, the worst thing about this, watch my spine collapse into my ass. The worst thing about this is that it takes no risks at all. It's incredibly boring. We have this yellow text. It's in that sans serif Art Deco font that everyone and their mom loves to use, but they commit the cardinal sin that I hate. They have shaded it. They have a gradient, and I don't think it needs that. I think that it would be more interesting without it. Also, the background is kind of a gradient, so you have gradients on gradients. I'm not totally opposed to the sky, but it's just the most boring road you could possibly take when you're making a cover for this book. Like, I'm not saying that everything needs to be matadors and figures drinking alcohol, but it also doesn't have to be the fucking sky. To me, it just totally lacks life and vigor and verve, which is so present in the writing of the book and the voices that are in the book. So the fact that it's kind of like a blah cover, you know, it's like that. It looks like that to me. That's how I feel about it. This cover is definitely a C. Oh no, you're running out of batteries back there? No. Number 11. Mass market paperback by Signet Classics from Penguin Random House. Let's take a look. Ooh. Okay. Okay. See, this is what I mean about having life and motion and vigor in your covers. Like, compare this even to the photograph that we saw of the boy taunting the bowls. It didn't have this feeling of flowing and of motion to it, but this one, you can feel the movement. You can feel it carry you forward. And that's honestly what is so special about this text. Once it gets to the fiesta, there are like only 4 chapters devoted to the fiesta, but you can feel them propelling you forward at every instant. It's almost impossible to stop reading once the fiesta actually starts, because it's just pushing and pushing and pushing and not giving you or Jake Barnes any time to rest. It's really incredibly written, and this cover makes me feel that, which that's exactly what I'm looking for. This is what I want. The bowl here that's right in the center, the biggest one, looks like the red bowl from The Last Unicorn. And on that alone, I'm giving this an A. Number 12, Vintage Classics paperback from Vintage Classics. Here we go. Oh yeah, okay. This rocks, actually, I think. Because putting the matador and bull on the cover is apparently the big trend of 2022, I am less enamored with it right now than I think I was at the beginning of this whole process. However, the illustrations kind of remind me of the original illustrations from A.A. Milne's poetry books, the Winnie the Pooh books, When We Were 6 and When We Were Very, Very Young, and all of those. I love those. I think they get across so much personality in such a simple illustration. So I really like the art that's here, and I like, again, these colors. I think they look very pretty together, but I think they also evoke this warmth, the heat of the fiesta. So I think that this really, really works for me. Also, my God, I love this font. This is a very dignified font. I think for me, this gets an A-. No, I think it gets an A. No, it gets an A-. No, it gets an A. It gets an A. We're giving it an A. It gets an A. Number 13, Word Cloud Classics by Canterbury Classics. So they were not kidding. They were not kidding when they said it was a word cloud. I'm gonna pull up my phone so I can read these words. War, bullfighting. You can't get away from yourself by moving from one place to another. Oily weather. It is awfully easy to be hard-boiled about everything in the daytime, but at night it is another thing. Captives. I don't know about that. I mean, it looks like a sun, so like there's that, right? It's fine. No, it's not fine. I don't like it. For me, the cover of the Word Cloud edition is gonna get a C-, maybe even a D. D. Okay, moving on to number 14, Canterbury Classics, leather-bound classics from Canterbury Classics. So the contents are the same as the Word Cloud version. That's Torrance, 3 Stories, 10 Poems. Ooh, who would have thought we'd ever see a black bull on the cover of The Sun Also Rises? Reasons why I'm not going to be as hard on this as maybe I should. Typography, love it. The fact that it is a leather version, I think that this is going to be beautiful to hold and to perceive. It has all the features that I kind of complained about and went hard on in that first audiobook, where it's flat and you're not taking any risks. But I think in leather, this kind of simple design would be really beautiful. And I hope that it has that kind of embossed texture where like you could stroke it and give it a big sniff and it would be pleasurable. It is fine. I'm going to give it a B+. Number 15, Penguin Vitae hardcover from Penguin Classics. Let's take a look. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, hang on. Yes. Yes. First of all, this is video poison. I love that it's blue. Obviously, we've seen a lot of like very warm colors. We've seen a lot of oranges today. I think the fact that this is blue will make it stand out from other editions of The Sun Also Rises. It also has this incredible simplicity to it. They are doing the Art Deco font, but you know what, man? When you do it right, you're allowed to do it. When you're doing it lazily, you're not allowed to do it. I think the reason that I like this so much is because this one is so confident. It's just letting the text speak for itself. Like the text is the show here, and it's really beautifully done. We also have this illustration in the middle with a sun that looks like it has a little face. Look at that little guy. it has this playfulness to it that really just is welcoming to me. Penguin, you've done it. This is an A+. Number 16, Dover Thrift Editions from Dover Publications. This is coming out on January 12th, which is today. Oh. So I get that this is their house style, but I really don't like the way they're doing the title space for this line. That big blue box with the gradient in it. Gradients, man! They've got a painting of a matador. Great stuff. Fighting with a black bull? Are you kidding me? He's got beautiful little ankles. Oh, wow. And a big pink cape. Let's get in close and look at those ankles. Oh my God. He's got tiny little legs. I wish we could see the ass here because I feel like unless there's a juicy booty on those little stick legs, I don't know. Was Pedro Romero skinny thick? Yes. But you know, sometimes you take what you can get when you are licensing art from the online. Speaking of licensing art from the online, yes, I did Google reverse image search it. You can find it on Wayfair. Picture frame graphic art from Charlton Home. Yeah, it's this beautiful old poster, like for a vintage travel poster kind of thing. That is kind of cool. I don't dislike the art. The way that it is cropped by that block with the text block on top with the title, it doesn't feel very exciting. Oh my God. I mean, seeing it all laid out like this in a Google search, it does look very striking. Okay, but there are clearly better ones. That's gorgeous and flamboyant. His butt is flat as a pancake though. Any mystery of how Pedro Romero gets into his pants is removed if his ass is like a board, I think. I think that I would like this Dover version more if they just had that image, but obviously they have the house style to contend with. And I'm not gonna go too hard on the thrift edition of a book because they're great. Thank you for making affordable books. We are moving on. Oh no, we have to rank them. Okay. The Dover cover gets a C-, but don't hold it against them. They're doing their best. Number 17, Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition. For the first time from Penguin Classics in a beautiful graphic deluxe edition featuring flaps, deckled edges, and specially commissioned cover art by R. Kikuo Johnson and a new introduction by Amore Towels. Guess what? Uh-oh, Simone bought a book. My friend Elizabeth slid into my DMs a few months ago and was like, did you know, new cover? And I took one look at it and I was like, this is really spectacular. So the artist said on Instagram that what they were trying to do was to bring in modern comics artists to illustrate classic novels. And the brief specifically for this one was to emphasize the heroine of the book, Lady Brett Ashley. It's got her smirking as she sees Pedro Romero's butt, and it's a good one. The greatest thing about this is it, like it says, it wraps, so it goes in, and then on the back it has this comic that the artist made about like Hemingway's time in Paris, which I love. And then it also has scenes. What scenes? Such scenes on the back. Jake and Brett making out in the cab. Yes. Mike Campbell being a fucking idiot. Robert busting in on Brett and Pedro. Pedro doing his bullfighting. We love to see it. Ruining my light here. To me, I really love this. Like even compared to the illustrated edition we looked at earlier, I feel like this is stronger because there's this utter simplicity and clarity to it. I think the choices of scenes that are being illustrated here is really, really strong. Definitely more so than what we saw with the previous version. Like I really liked that image of the matador, obviously, and of Brett and Jake dancing. But these scenes though, like you honestly get the whole narrative of the book here in a way that you don't with that other version. Oh wait, did I grade this? This gets an A+, baby. Number 18, Waking Lion Press paperback. Okay, it's just the one. This is just the original cover. I'm not gonna diss on the original cover of The Sun Also Rises. However, I think I only like the original cover because it's the original cover. Like I know it's timeless and a classic. If it came out today, would I think that? Does it really speak to me? No, you're gonna get a solid B for this. Oh, this is exciting. Number 19, Ancient Wisdom Publications. Hardcover. Let's see what it's all about. Oh, okay. Ah, what the fuck? What? What? This cover appears to be in Comic Sans, which is a choice. It also has an illustration of a bullfight, including a bull that is very much goring a horse with stuff coming out of it. Why is the text so high? It's so high and it's not centered. It's very confusing. I did reverse image search this cover, of course, on fineartamerica.com. Vintage bullfighting poster, beach towel. Okay, hang on. The font on this beach towel is the font they should have used for the title. It's luxuriously soft. Okay, so they had this whole original image and they cropped it down to just the good goring moment with the guts falling out, which like I appreciate, but coffee mug, a yoga... You can get this as a yoga mat. What is going on here? You can just get anything from fineartamerica.com. Y'all know what to do. I'm putting this link in the description. Obviously, the whole design of this cover is hot garbage. The image itself, on its own, would I put it on a beach towel? No. Is it cool that it is a genuine movie poster from 1907? Yes. Do I like the style of it? No. Does that matter? Yes, because I'm doing a ranking video. This cover, on the whole, gets a C+. Oh my God, that was the last one from this year so far. Please don't make any more. Please let me live. That's gonna be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I can't promise that I'll ever do anything like this again. I really just wanted to talk about my favorite book and how they're doing stuff with it now. It's gonna be a super exciting year for me. Thanks. Subscribe if you want to, and see you somewhere else.